Gender dysphoria. How much those words have changed the world. They have led us to question the differences between men and women, using both philosophical debate and observation of those affected. They have also torn apart countless families and friends because one or both parties cannot comprehend how the mind can defy its body. Sadly, much of the conversation around gender dysphoria has devolved to how society should accommodate transgenders and transsexuals in gender-segregated facilities, public bathrooms, sports leagues, and the like. On one hand, denying them access to facilities that match their gender identity has been proven to cause severe mental distress. On the other hand, policies that allow access to such facilities based on gender identity has led to incidents of sexual assault, voyeurism, and similar offenses committed by men who claimed that they identified as women in order to enter spaces that traditionally barred men, endangering the women and girls in the bathroom or changing stall at the time and their privacy. Such perverted acts have occurred in 12 states, highlighted in red here, as well as in Toronto, Canada, where 2 incidents of voyeurism on the campus of the University of Toronto led the administration to reconsider their policies on gender-neutral bathrooms. For those who would ask, my suggestion is to mandate third bathrooms reserved for the gender dysphoric in order to preserve the mental health and privacy of all, provided that these bathrooms are guarded from would-be picketers. However, I would go further than this matter of policy, for I see a much bigger, more pervasive problem at hand, one which dwarfs gender dysphoria in its spread, impact, and establishment in our society. When one thinks of a man, chances are that he does not merely think of a humanoid figure with a 5th extremity attached at the groin. He might think of a protector with great physical or emotional fortitude. He might think of a powerhouse, a workhorse that incorporates his strength into both work and play. Or perhaps he thinks of a bastion of fervor, who relentlessly pursues the things he wants, with varying degrees of regard for the needs of others. Similarly, one might expect the typical woman to be a master of soft skills, a guardian of life, or a champion of piety. However, many of these expectations are not based on the natural differences men and women develop once they reach puberty. Instead, they are expectations born of our cultures, our views on the roles of men and women in our society and in our community. Odds are we were all raised to think, speak, and act in certain ways in part because of our gender. Unfortunately, these expectations sometimes conflict with an individual's personality. To the afflicted, it seems almost as if their mind is incompatible with their body. Now, this discrepancy can have varying severity. In optimal cases, the feeling of dysphoria will disappear with the onset of puberty. Other times, the patient needs to live the life of the opposite gender in certain capacities, whether they draw the line at a change in their style of dress or go as far as undergoing sex reassignment surgery. This variance is the reason that treatment of gender dysphoria in children and adolescents is primarily psychological in nature. The modification of the body, after all, is serious business. It is my understanding that such universal expectations, one that would lead a person to such drastic change, do not belong in a society that champions the right to pursue happiness. Therefore, I advocate for the disownment of these expectations. As a nation, we can no longer afford to raise boys and girls. We must raise Noah, Charlotte, Mason, Ava, Liam, Harper, Benjamin. We must teach our children to live according to their moral obligations as humans, rather than as men or women. In this way, we can wipe gender dysphoria off the face of the earth and reconcile the sexes. This task is not something a lone man like me can do. He must become the voice of a movement, a people dedicated to the general welfare. I will undoubtedly need your support. My name is Monty Stone. Make me your 45th and a half president on November 4th, 2019.